Throwdown Nation, we are not live, and there is a reason for that. We're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, February the 8th. We had to do this pre recorded for scheduling and continuity purposes, but this is episode 200 of The Throwdown, where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and let me give you a short history lesson. Back in July of 2024, I was a fledgling live streamer in the area of music. I was doing a similar show to The Throwdown, but having conversations with unsigned bands. At that point, I had decided to expand the scope of the show into my other great passion, professional wrestling. I've been a fan of the business since I was around 11 years old, and I was 54 at the time. I didn't really know anybody in the business, so to speak, but but as I've been doing with the music episodes, I kind of knew that I wanted to be a part of kind of telling the story of people chasing a dream. So I started focusing on independent wrestling around the nation and around the world. So I started searching on Instagram, and I happened upon this guy, Cowboy James Hunter. He was a wrestler and a promoter, and he was another Georgia guy, so I thought, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I DM'd him, explained what I was doing, and sir, you responded positively and agreed to come on as the guest in episode 1. And man, we've kept in touch since, and early on, you vouched for me with a few wrestlers and kind of helped me get the ball rolling, so to speak. And man, I will always be grateful to you for that. And, a little over 18 months later, here we are at episode 200. And I've met some of the coolest people, made some incredible friends, learned a ton, and had the time of my life. And when 200 was approaching, I knew I wanted Cowboy back, so I reached out to you, and you were totally on board. So here we are. and
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, thank you. That's a heck of that is a history lesson. Yep. But man, that's why I got in this business, is helping people achieve dreams, do things they want to do. And when you reached out, I was like, oh, sure, man. And it, all you need is a foot in the door. And that's it. Once you get there, you get a couple people to say, "Yeah, man, that's a cool guy. Like those are cool interviews. Do those." And I saw that stuff bloom for you, man, and I couldn't have been happier. Like it's you supported us when we started PWE and things, and I thought that was amazing. I couldn't be thankful enough. So to support you through your journey is just turning the other hat, man. I'm happy to do it.
well, man, it's like I said, this has just been it's been a great ride. It's definitely been a labor of love, and man, I love this stuff. So how
Oh
have
yeah.
you been? How have you been? We were talking a little bit beforehand. I know during the time since we last spoke, really, became a dad again. So how has that been, and how are things going with PWE? Just kind of fill us in.
Yeah, I can fill you in. Yeah, first and foremost, I became a dad again a year ago yesterday. She turned a year. We're actually doing a birthday party after this interview today. It's a busy man. But that's been amazing. I now have 4 daughters. So it's given me even more of a reason to give the next generation something. And during that time since we talked, we not only continued PWE, we did some amazing events at ballparks, at a big historic Miller Theater, which was amazing. But we also got to do something that I've been wanting to do since before PWE. And that's open the Phoenix Wrestling Dojo. I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten to start training guys. I did a lot of minor training when I was probably 15 years ago, but never had a formal setting. Never got to have a building, never got to have a curriculum or anything that I could do for real, which I always said I was going to do. And I turned 40, and that happened. So late last year in October, we started our first class. I'm actually sitting right now inside the dojo in my office, which is crazy to say. But yeah, it's been great. Blessed is probably the best word I can say, but it's also not enough. It is not enough for what's been going on. So it's been pretty cool, man. It's a wild ride. That's that's another thing.
No doubt, no doubt. So, I had seen that you recently basically celebrated, I think it's 25 years in the business. Is that correct?
25 years, yes, sir. This is my 25 years that I'm going. It started in October. So 2025 was 2020 was 25 years. I started in the ring doing production a little bit before that, but I didn't have my first match until 2000. And then this is my kind of last run, this 2025, 2026 year. I'm
Hmm.
going to do a good bit of traveling. I go to Colorado in 2 weeks. I go to Texas in March. I'm going to go to Kentucky. I'm going to go to a couple different places. And it's just really like celebrating the 25 years, man. That's really awesome. Like, I'm not going to retire after this, but I got a 1-year-old, man. I'm not going to go traveling too much more.
Right, right. I completely feel you. So, you know, being this deep into the business, and we're all getting older. How are you feeling as far as the in ring stuff goes? Is your body feeling pretty good?
I will say when we had our interview the first time, I hurt every day, and that was the thing that I always said. Like I was hurting, I was training, every now and then, but I was hurting a good bit more than I was not.
Right.
Actually, getting in the ring 3 times a week, 2 3 hours a day, every day, and I work out a couple of times. I feel better than I have in a long time.
That's
Now
good.
I still feel it.
Yeah, of course.
We did month 4 evaluations at the dojo, and that meant that me and my other assistant coach had to like work with the guys and actually do matches. And I did about 6 matches, 6 5-minute matches that night.
Hmm.
I felt it the next day. I really did.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, this old cowboy definitely felt it. I was like, man, I don't want to go nowhere the next day. But I do. I feel better, and that just it goes back to my grandpa. He told me a long time ago when he was like 80 something. I was like, how'd you live to be 80 something? He survived the beaches of Normandy, and he was like, keep moving. He's like, that's the trick. Just keep moving, keep doing your
Yep.
stuff, keep being exercising, keep moving. Because when you slow down, that's when everything else stops. And that's a
Absolutely.
testament right now because I'm moving more than ever before, and I feel better than I did before.
That's good, man. So, so how did the opportunity to make the dojo a reality come about?
Oh Lord. Long struggle. I actually got a reminder on Facebook today that 2 years ago today, we announced that we were going to build a building, and that was what we were going to do. Well, that fell through because of plans and costs and crap. Then we decided we were going to do, me and a couple of other wrestlers were going to go and get another building, and that was going to go. Didn't happen. And man, I was like, all right, I don't know when this is going to happen. So we'll find another building. We found another one. It was great. Guy that I work with, and it was awesome. Well, he had a deal for us. We were going to make this thing big. It was going to be great. Unfortunately, he passed away. And
Oh,
when he
sorry to
passed
hear that.
away, yeah, he was a good friend of mine too. Like I worked for him, and he was a good dude. He was really good.
Yep.
He was one of the first guys I really got to know that was of the Sikh religion.
Hmm.
And he was very positive, a very good guy. Like he meant super well. And it was really sad to see him go. But long story short, the building opportunity fell through again, and I kind of gave up. I had a couple partners we kept meeting. The partners had problems. They couldn't work together, and I didn't think it was gonna happen, man. I really didn't. I kind of hung my hat on it, so to speak. And I was looking for a place. I said, you know what? No, I've got to do this. This is what I wanted to do. More than PWE, I wanted to be able to give back the 20 something years of training to the business.
Right.
And hey, man, I don't know everything, but I have learned a lot. And I would love to just give that to somebody in a for formal setting. So I started looking, and I was like, all right, we got to find a building. And one of my friends said, hey, this guy has a building He's still looking for somebody to rent the space. I looked at the address and I said, well, wait a minute, this is one of the addresses that I looked at originally when we first started talking. And me and my stepdad were going to go in on it together, his business and my business, and it didn't really work. So, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. Well, I said, this can't be the same spot, because it was very ideal. It was a really good spot. And so I drove up here, talked to the old guy that ran the place, and he said, yeah. Gave me the deal on what it would be. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, this would be the deal. I'm like, okay, cool. And we could get in here. We started pushing about it. We had over 20 people sign up for tryouts when we announced it.
That's awesome.
That was amazing. We ended up with 13 in the class and started in October. And I was floored. I was like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. And so it just was happenstance, fate, luck, whatever, destiny, whatever you want to say, that we got in this place that we had already looked at, but it was just meant to be. The students that I have now are really, really, like, they showed me that this is why we were doing this. Like, it's pretty cool.
They call that a God thing, brother.
It is, man. It really is. Like, I don't try to force any single religion on anyone, but like, there is something here in this universe that if you just let it flow and push through, I'm not on one religion either, but like, there's a guy from the 70s called Alan Watts. He was a philosopher. I listened to a lot of like some of his speakings and stuff, talking about Buddhism and things. One of the biggest things that I took from him was, man, life is like a river. You go with it and everything kind of flows. You start hesitating and going backwards thinking you fight the river, and that river is going to push you to places you don't want to be. So it's better to just ride that flow and go with it.
Absolutely. So who all do you have on staff as assistant coaches and that kind of thing?
So right now I'm head coach. My assistant coach is another local guy here from Augusta called, his name is Dustin Knight. He wrestled in NWA Wildside back in like Cornelia with AJ Styles, Anthony.
Oh yeah, back in the day, yeah.
So me and him have known each other for a very long time. We've done a whole lot. He's been through trials and tribulations in his life, and he's not only being able to show that in not only wrestling, but he's been a good like mental coach for a lot of these guys. So that's been really good. I had an opportunity to battle. It is, man. Mental. We have a saying here at the dojo: get out of your head and get in this ring. Because a lot of that stuff is you get trapped in your head worrying about stuff, and you've got to focus on what's in front of you. We
can all be our own worst enemy.
Oh yeah. But he's my great head coach. He's been amazing. We have guest coaches. But me and him are the two that are here every day. And then we have guest coaches. We have like D'Angelo, TJ Era comes through. We've had Anthony Henry come through a couple of times and help us do some things. We've had seminars from Matt Winchester, Beer City Bruiser. We've had guest seminars from just different people from different schools. We have Bob Evans, Brutal Bob Evans, coming up in March. So my goal was, we're going to teach these kids fundamentals, and also give them the opportunities to network with all these places. So whereas I can't teach them everything under the sun, I can teach them the basics of where you start. We offer a 6-month course. A lot of places are like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, all that kind of stuff. No, this is 6 months of the basics, 3 days a week. Yeah. After 6 months, you're going to have a written curriculum and a written like eval thing that says, okay, this is where I am. This is where I need to focus. Some people may be ready for the ring. Some people will still have a ways to go. But that's all on them. That's your personal journey is your personal journey, man.
Absolutely.
Especially in this business.
Oh, for sure. And, doing the show, I've talked to, obviously other wrestlers who also function as trainers and coaches and that kind of thing. And some say that they can tell in the first 5 minutes or so, if a new student is going to stick around, do you have that gift? And if so, what are the tells that you pick up on?
So I will tell them, and my students will probably end up watching this because they watch a lot of stuff, and I'm bluntly honest. Um, I can tell within the first couple weeks or a couple like times of our tryouts, like for a few minutes or so, if they are going to be able to push it.
Yep.
Some people have the natural talent. I have probably a good 3 to 4 people in my class that from day one, I was like, okay, they just need to know the understanding and then they're going to get it because they
Right.
already control, they know their stuff. But yes, one of the biggest things that you look for right away is body control. If they cannot control their body within like push-ups, sit-ups, doing burpees or up downs, how they call them in football, or moving around the ropes, if they can't do that simply, then they're going to need a lot of work. Not saying they can't do it. I've been in this 25 years, man. I have seen people that I did not believe could be wrestlers. So I am a firm believer that anyone can learn how to wrestle. Doesn't matter your size, doesn't matter your thing. It takes 2 things: body control and cardio.
Yep.
If you can do 2 of those things and have those controls and have a control over your cardio and your body control, you can do this, brother. Like, it's really, really that simple. But those 2 things sometimes aren't very simple.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what we spend a lot of time with the first month is just body control, man. Getting people to learn how to flip.
Yep.
How many you can get a room of 100 people and ask 100 people, hey, how many people have done a front flip ever in their life? Second question is, how many people have ever punched somebody ever in their life? And you'd be surprised on who don't raise their hand.
Right. Well, it's body control, but it's also spatial awareness.
Ring
Being
positioning.
aware.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and that's something that it can be taught, but I feel like you've if you don't have some innate sense of it, it's going to be more difficult at the very least.
We've got some guys that are, when we got to 4 months, and we're now into the 5th month now, that they know and that there's a wall that they're going to have. That's one of those things. And not saying that they can't anymore.
Right.
I've seen it. I've struggled with some of the stuff. When I first started, I told these guys, like, I didn't have upper body control. I had really strong legs because I played football, but I could not control my upper body at all. I was a very skinny kid and couldn't do any of that stuff. So I had to go and spend 90% of my workouts or anything I had to do focusing on this part of my body. So that way I could at least move my body, flip myself. I could do the little up and over drills and things like that because I wasn't huge, but I needed to be able to control myself. So it takes a lot of that work.
It does. So, this is a question that I probably brought up when we did our original chat, but I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to ask it again because this is one of these kinds of questions that can change over time. So, outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why?
That has changed now. It has very much changed. I will say, so outside of wrestling, so not a wrestler.
Right.
That has changed to, I would probably say I get inspiration from what the legacy my father left. Mm-hmm. My father passed away right after I started PWE. I don't know if he passed away when we talked, but it might have been right after. And I look back on a lot of the stuff that my dad did that I didn't realize when I was a kid, how important that was. Mm-hmm. My dad ran his own business from the time he was like in his 20s until he passed away, basically. He worked for maybe 4 people his entire life. And to die at 66 and only work for 4 people is
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He wasn't a millionaire, but we weren't broke. He had his faults, he had problems, but the entire time he was trying. And he was trying to do it without having to rely on anybody else. He was trying to do it himself. And looking back, that is so inspirational that he took care of a family of 4 and everything on his own by doing his own side jobs, by doing his own stuff, and doing what he loved to do, which was working with people and working on computers. That's what he loved to
Mm-hmm.
do. And if I can do that in my life and do what I love to do, wrestling or training people how to wrestle or putting on show, whatever, just having this passion that I have and making it worth it, then I'm living the same legacy or if not a better one than what my dad did. So that's pretty
Ab-
inspirational to me. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And, sort of, I guess, reflecting back, a guy who sort of, at least to some extent, got his start, at least partially, with PWE, Sean Legacy. Man,
Oh yeah.
that dude is just blowing up right now. I am beyond happy for him because talk about a guy that has just an insane work ethic. I
Oh yeah.
mean, man, he has earned everything that he has gotten, and and you know, and another partially thanks to you, he was an early guest on the Throwdown, and when I had my conversation with him, I knew that he had the it factor. And I feel like the sky is the limit for him, man. I am so happy for Sean.
Oh yeah, I can't take credit for where he started. He definitely had a lot more before he came with us, but I
Right.
can say that he was and still is, in my opinion, one of the 4 big pillars of PWE, the foundation of PWE. He really, really helped us a lot as far as connecting with the Augusta audience. A lot of people loved Sean and wanted to see him, and so to give us that to help us start and even to use he used us, we used him. It wasn't like a using situation, it was more of a
Right, of
partnership, and
course.
I loved it, and I love Sean to death, and I'm so happy for him. Every time he told me, he was like, hey man, I don't know if I'll be here much longer, or I don't know when I'm going to be gone, but I'm probably going to be gone soon. Or when he told me around when we did our base show, he was like, that's probably going to be one of the last matches I do. And I was like, man, I get it. I completely get it. Cause I'm really happy for him to see him work with somebody that I looked up to work with Shawn Michaels,
Oh
to work
yeah.
side by side with somebody like that. I could not be more happier for him. Like I really couldn't. I love the fact that we got to feature him so much. I put him on a lot of the dojo stuff, and I told him I was like, man, I'm gonna use you as an example for a long time. So I hope you don't mind that. But it's just he's the ideal in this area. Him and Aaron Barry are the 2 guys in this area, and Cody Fluffman too. I have to put him in there too. But him and Aaron are the 2 guys that I will say for Augusta and the CSRA to look up to 2 guys, one of 2 different color that say, hey man, these guys succeeded. These guys followed their dreams. These guys are doing amazing. I look to see Aaron Barry being on some kind of TV sometime soon because that kid knows exactly what he's doing. Cody being with
Mm-hmm.
Savannah Bananas, I saw that happening and knew that was going to happen. When he said he was going for the first time, I was like, man, Cody, they're going to take him, and they did. They took him like crazy, and it was great. And I'm happy that we could even have him back. But just to see those guys in this local area succeed, it makes these
Mm-hmm.
dojo guys just even more inspired, which is amazing. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, and I really feel like with what you guys have going out there, to some extent you're still sort of flying under the radar, but Augusta is really becoming a hotbed of indie wrestling
It really
quietly.
is. Places like Viral, places like Apex now, that was Next Level before. They're going through some name changes, but they're doing good. People like that it's really giving Augusta and the CSRA a really good reputation for some good wrestling. I love the fact that we can talk good about everybody in the area and that everybody's good. And that even though maybe we don't work together all the time, we can still be cool. They come to my shows, I go to their shows. That's how it should be. A lot of places is it was very hostile and crap, and there's no need for that. There's too many opportunities, too many people that are hungry, too many ways to make money for everybody. So no need to fight. Like, really is not.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, wrestling, as you are fully aware of, is a roller coaster, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. In the last 18 months, what do you feel like has been the high point and what has been the low point for your wrestling journey these last 18 months?
So the highest point for me personally, I'll go personally instead of company wise or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Highest point for me personally was being able to get in here with the kids in the dojo and be able to do that kind of stuff. Like, that really has been the highest. To get in here and to see the dedication and the passion from them, and to see them taking what I have taught them, and just that reaffirming that I'm doing it the right way. Like, a couple of these kids have gone to other places and shown, gone to other schools or gone to seminars and shown what they've learned, and they're not getting yelled at and go, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's a little affirming on me. And the guests that come in here, they go, oh, no, these kids are picking up pretty well. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm teaching them right. So that makes me feel good. So that's been a high point. And being able to travel again. I guess that's kind of mixed because I'm traveling for them, kind of thing.
Right.
Low point, probably realizing that, yeah, it's 25 years and it's still got some time to go, but I've had my peak probably. And that's not a low point, but it's still like a humbling point, I guess.
Right.
Feeling the injuries and feeling the things, I know I can't do things that I used to be able to do.
Right.
And I want to, and sometimes, but sometimes it goes back to, okay, you got other stuff to do. Don't worry about you and that kind of thing. But not being as, all right, I'll say again, not being as prepared this go around for this run. Last time I was real prepared, wanted to do stuff. This time it's like, oh, I've got so much stuff going on in my life.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, sometimes life gets in the way.
It does. It very much
But it's
does.
a good thing, but yeah, there's moments where it's like
Yeah, because I could say that passing my father was a low point, but it only was for a short period. He was
right.
suffering a lot those last little bit, and the fact that he's not anymore, and the fact that everybody can go on and move on with peace is not low. And I'm not trying to make myself low on that either, because I've seen people what that does to people, so I don't want to do that. So anybody that's lost a loved one or lost a father or a brother or a sister, man, just remember the good times. Remember what they did in your life, whether it was 1, 2 to a million positive things. Just remember those.
Right.
That's what I want to be
Absolutely.
remembered for.
Yeah. Well, I lost my mom 17 years ago. And, with time, I mean, it's gotten easier, but I mean, I still think about her every day. But, she was also going through a lot of health issues and everything. So really, looking back at it with, retrospectively, there was a lot of mercy to it as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean, her quality of life just was not what it should have been. So
There's a
anyway,
plan for everything, and God or
yep,
whoever you believe in has that plan, and that's where it's at. So they go when they're supposed to go, man.
absolutely. So, this is another question that we probably dealt with the first time, but it's another one of these that can change over time. So, at this very moment, in your opinion, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world, and who is the best tag team in the world?
That has definitely changed because I have watched a lot more wrestling lately than I used to.
Okay.
And for a lot of just research reasons, having to discuss things in class and things like that. I will
Yep.
tell you my favorite wrestler right now, and he's on his way up, and he is doing really good. I've used him in my class for several examples of different things. Is Oba Femi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Oba Femi, they struck a gold mine with that kid, and if he continues to listen to whoever the hell he's been listening to lately, he will continue to skyrocket more than any big guy's had in a long time.
Yep.
And it's just his sure believability. I believe that that man can kill the War Raiders. I believe that man can kill just about anybody in that ring. Like, I really do, because of the
Mm-hmm.
way he acts and the way he
Yep.
has mannerisms and the way he like does his body, the way they do him. It's like Goldberg was back in the day.
Yep.
Nobody will pay attention to the fact that he can wrestle. They will just pay attention to the fact that he's big,
The
scary, and intimidating.
aura.
Yes, it is the aura. I tell them, I tell the guys all the time, it's that emotional connection that you make when you walk out. If you can connect with them like that, whew, watch out, because you can do whatever you want. And that's what he's doing. He's connecting as soon as he walks out. And as soon as that doom, 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 I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. So that, yeah, that top male, absolutely. Top female, I will have to give her. She gets a lot of stuff, and she's not being used. And I know they use her on some stuff. Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yeah.
She's doing really, really good stuff. I have to say, between her and Io Sky, I like watching them both work. Like, I really
Yeah.
do. And I don't like watching a lot of females work.
Yeah.
So, but both of them, tag team, that's hard. I don't watch a lot of tag team wrestling, not new wrestling anyway, just because it's, meh. Um, I will say I enjoyed the War Raiders for a long time while they were doing their thing. Um, but they're not as now. I watched, who did I watch? Okay, all right, I'll give you one. This is just because I like Lucha. I liked Mr. Iguana and La Parca. That was a
Yeah.
good tag team on AAA the other day. That was great. I
Yeah.
think they should do way more stuff because those are two comedy gimmicks that work really well.
Yep. 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 You know, it's funny that you brought up Obafemi because man, I've been enjoying watching his trajectory as well. And you know that little moment in the Rumble when he and Brock were eyeing each other, I was like, "Oh hell, here we go!" You know,
I know
and
why they didn't do more, but they should. But that was like, ooh, they could have done more. But I know
yeah,
why. It's because
oh
they
yeah,
will get more money later.
yep, absolutely. But you
Because
know,
if he doesn't wrestle Obafemi before he retires, that's money lost.
exactly, exactly. But you know, I saw a funny meme the other day. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was a picture of Obafemi from his appearance in the Rumble, and they were the meme was basically you know he came out with that little necklace
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they said that Obafemi is bad enough that he can get away with coming out with a necklace made of Dunkin' Donuts munchkins.
Donuts. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, that is hilarious. I mean, that just popped me big time. I just,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
so
I definitely enjoy that. I hadn't watched a lot of NXT, and then when somebody told me about him, and I was like, yeah, I gotta check that guy out. So I'm glad he's getting a little bit of a run. That's cool.
oh, for sure, for sure. So, you know, kind of a hot take question. What did you think about the winners of this year's Rumble, booking wise? And do you think they got it right?
See, I don't know what they're trying to go long term with the men's thing.
I don't
That's one of the ones that I'm
either.
like, why would you give it to Roman? I thought it would have been cool to give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
We watched it here at the dojo, a couple of the students and us, and we watched it while it snowed here, which was crazy.
Oh yeah.
So we did that, and we were like, okay, well, in the women's, it was great. I felt the women's, as far as like the match itself, really, really good. I wanted Sol Roca to win. I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying Sol Roca. I really enjoy that whole thing that they're doing with that. I didn't really care about the winner of the women's thing. That's cool, but like, I thought it would have been cooler to have Sol Roca win.
Yeah.
The men's, like I said, it was just a bunch of people, and
Yeah.
yeah, the surprises were there, but like, it was flat because of where they were. Like, the people at home popped. I guarantee you, everybody at home popped for freaking Powerhouse Hobbs, and they popped for all the guys coming back and all that. But nobody in the arena really knew who some of those people were, and they didn't really know LA Knight left. So
Right.
like, it was just like a normal pop for LA Knight.
Right. Well,
So
and you know, part of the problem was having it in Saudi Arabia too. You know, it's yeah. Yeah, I
that's all
know.
it's
I
about.
know. I don't. Yeah. But man, I don't dig it. You know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
like you said, money talks. But
And Mania's there next year. Woo!
I know. I know. But you know, I was as far as the Rumble went, I kind of had my heart set on Jacob Fatu winning it. But you know, I mean,
That would have been acceptable. I'd have been
yeah,
okay with that.
yeah,
I think the Rumble and King of the Ring, the way it used to be and the way it should be, is a heel or somebody that's weird can win it every now and then, but it really should be an up and coming person. It was originally designed for that, to be an up and coming winner. Somebody that you wouldn't normally think that would be the world champion gets to fight for the world championship because he won a Royal Rumble.
right,
Like,
right.
and I think it just, over the time, it became a reason to put somebody in a storyline when we didn't have a thing for them. You know,
Right.
oh, they'll win the Royal Rumble, and that's how they become champ, or that's how they wrestle for the title.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's TV booking too, man, and I don't like getting into TV booking because that's a whole different thing. I tell the guys here all the time,
It
I'm like, you
is.
want to learn how to work TV, go somewhere else. I don't like
Yeah.
TV booking.
I get you. So something I'm going to ask you to do, and you know, hopefully we'll maintain connectivity. But can you give us
Sure.
a tour of the dojo? I'd
Sure,
love
I
to see
definitely
it.
can.
Yeah.
I should remain. Well, I'll show. Let's see if I can do the flip the camera around gimmick.
Okay.
Does that work? No. Okay. Well, if I can't flip the cam, let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Hold on. Facing back. Yeah. There we
There
go.
we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the office here. A little
Nice.
desk office. We have a little bit of like changing area. Like we keep coolers and stuff. We have production lights, that kind of stuff. We got a little dressing area. We keep our speakers. So it's small, but this is where we change if we have events here. And then when you come out the curtains,
Nice.
you can see now ring set up down here. We're set up for a birthday party. My
Yeah.
kid's birthday party.
Right.
But we do birthday parties for families. We did one for like an 8-year-old before who was a big fan, and did all that. But we've got ring set up here. We have stairwell, little light. So we set up on our entranceway here. So when we go downstairs, I'll kind of show you what it looks like that way.
Yeah.
Let's see, got a lot of our little stuff set up, a bunch of posters, stuff from our different events that we've done, just to kind of see everybody, give people motivation and stuff, you know. Got our speaker
Absolutely.
system there. Right now, it's only set up with one ring. We have an ability to set up two, with this amount of space. We share space with a baseball training facility, Evans Sports Academy. So
Okay.
they do baseball training here on the side, right beside our ring. So they do this little long thing, and they shoot baseballs down that way. They have a little consignment stuff there, but we have our little concession stand back here that we're working on. We do some stuff with our boys with protein bars and, you know, all kinds of waters and things like that. But yeah, our ring facility is like this. So just kind of stand back and so you can see the whole thing
Nice.
there. We have a big projector screen where we do our videos, like video studies and watch pay-per-views and WrestleMania and things like that. And then it's big enough to hold about 100 and something people. Probably about 150 if we put all our chairs out and fire code and everything.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can flip my camera back around. There we go. Cool. So yeah, if you see it like
Very
that,
cool. Oh yeah. Yeah,
so
man.
pretty easy.
This is nice, dude. I'm
It's
very
really nice, man.
impressed.
We've got lights that we ran up above our ring too. So when those the little spotlights you see up there, as soon as they show it on the ring and we turn all the lights off in here, it's a big difference. Looks like show ready. We've got a couple of different videos online that we're going to post that'll have our last event we had here. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man.
Nice.
It's been cool to have a home. That's been really neat.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Somebody else who I got to know through my association with you and had her on the show is Miss Betty. How is she
Oh, I love
doing
Miss
these
Betty.
days?
Miss Betty is doing great. Let's see if I can get a chair over here. She's doing great. She is actually going to come to the birthday party today. She's been a good friend of the family and everything. She goes to a
Yeah.
lot of our events and stuff. So she's been
Right,
pretty cool, man.
right.
Like I love being able to just really talk with friends and stuff like that, and make friends with some of the fans, because sometimes fans are okay to make friends with, and sometimes they're not.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the most part, like, our PWE people have been pretty awesome. Like, that's been
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, having her on was a treat, though. She is one of a kind.
I figured Joe would have a blast too. Like, she's been watching wrestling forever, so she has stories out of the wazoo. She tells me stuff all the time. It's been pretty cool.
Absolutely. So, I don't know if we did this last time because you were the first guest, but something that we've done in all of these is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest.
Yes,
So,
that was the first one. Yes.
yeah. So, my previous guest was actually the head coach for he's the head coach at the House of Champions down in Orlando.
Oh, I've seen some of his videos.
Yeah, Kakoa.
Yeah.
So the question that he posed is, in your wrestling career, what has been your most embarrassing in-ring moment?
That's a good one. I will have to say, definitely, the most PG way to say this is defecating on yourself.
Oh yeah.
That has definitely been the most embarrassing. I think God, it's been so long ago, but I will remember this forever. I don't know how old I was, but I was definitely not the cowboy at this time. But it was earlier in my career, probably maybe 10 years in, maybe, if that. And me and my buddies had been doing all the partying over the weekend and all the week, and
Oh
like, it
yeah.
was just crazy, and drinking and do all kinds of stuff. And we ate the wrong thing the day before. And man, I don't, it wasn't even like something big. It wasn't like a power bomb or something like that. It was just like, we rolled and took a bump, and I was like, nope. Nope, that wasn't good. That was not good at all. And then, like, something else happened again. I was like, nope, we finished in this match. I'm getting out of here. I think the match was like 4 or 5 minutes shorter than what it was supposed to be.
Yep.
And I got to the back and ran to the bathroom. I kicked somebody out the bathroom, and I was like, nope, gotta get all of it. I came out like half naked. They were like, what's wrong? I was like, I embarrassed myself in the ring, boys. I'm gonna go change. I told this
Interestingly
story
enough,
to my students too, so that's why I know this one fresh. This is funny.
interestingly enough, I have heard that happens more often than you would think.
It does. That
You're
happens a
in good
lot.
you're in good company.
And so does the number one. The number one happens a whole lot for, not to embarrass them, but females a lot. I talk to a lot of female wrestlers. That's a big thing, especially if any of them has ever had kids. It's just a
Yeah.
thing that happens. It's a
Yep.
natural
Yep.
part of
Yep.
life that sucks because any athlete that tell you that, yeah, crap, I do that. And so, but dudes do it too. We can't say anything
Oh
about it.
yeah.
We do it too.
Not at all. Not at all. So, we're getting pretty much toward the end of things now. So,
Yeah,
do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to
I
give some hype to?
do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. So we have next week, we have two shows. We have Sweetheart
Okay.
Slam. That is on
Nice.
February the 12th on Thursday. We have a really cool Drew Hood versus Amanda Kiss for the Savannah River Brewery Company Championship. That's going to be really good. We have Three Dope versus the Allen Brothers, which if you've never seen either one of these tag team wrestle, they are amazing. Allens took the titles from Three Dope last time, which was crazy. So they get a rematch this time. That's pretty awesome. And for people who don't necessarily like wrestling, disc golf legend Scott Stokely. He is a legend in disc golfing. Been around since the 90s. A good friend of mine. He's going to be at the show too. We're going to do a little segment with him. So that's that show. Then the very next day, we have the Benefit for Medusa. It is a benefit show for Paul Asher's wife, Medusa, who has breast cancer, who is dealing with that right now, going through treatment. So we are doing a big benefit with him or with her. And we're going to have Anthony Henry and JD Drick from the Workhorsemen on there. We're going to have Josh Powers, Amanda Kiss, a bunch of people. So that one's a huge lineup. We got like a 20-man rumble happening with that thing. It's going to be crazy. And then right after that in March, we have Steel Cage on deck. We're going back to SRP Park and doing a Steel Cage match show with Aaron Berry versus Cody Fluffman in Steel Cage. So yeah,
Nice.
we got stuff going on. That one's on March 3rd. So so yeah, it's been
Absolutely,
crazy,
man.
man. Like it is definitely a busy time.
But it's a good kind of busy.
Yes, extremely good kind of busy.
Absolutely. And, like I said, I've got to thank you for your time because I know, that you're extremely busy. And just the fact that you were willing to take the time to come back for number 200 is just, it's an honor, brother. So,
No problem, man. It's a pleasure, brother. Like to be the 200 guest and the one guest, like that's just crazy and a pleasure to see you go on to do 200, 400, 500. That's gonna be great.
absolutely. And that's the plan, man. So, uh,
Oh, let
and,
me pose a question for the next person. I forgot to do
oh,
that.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Please do. Yeah.
So my question for the next person, if they are a wrestler or a trainer or whatever they are, doesn't matter. The question to them is, how many times a week do you train?
Oh, that is a real good question.
How many times a week do you train? Because if the answer is less than one or more than or less than two, you should train more.
Absolutely. Reps, reps, reps.
Reps, 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 man.
So, anyway, as we're wrapping this up, do you have any final words for the audience?
Man, just keep supporting independent wrestling. Keep supporting wrestling in general. Just that's the best thing right now is we have so much support all over the place. Wrestling is in a better time than it has been in a long time. It's got a very positive notation on it, and just as long as we keep that support, it'll keep that way. And if anybody out there, no matter where you are, if you want to learn how to wrestle, you want a 6-month course, really good fundamentals of wrestling, the Phoenix Wrestling Dojo in Augusta, Georgia. We're starting next classes in April 1st. We have tryouts that are open right now. I will throw them in the comments of all these kind of things so that way you can sign up for tryouts. But tryouts are free. Come out and check it out, man. And then we will go on from there. We're going to start doing dojo shows here with our students. It's going to be a crazy 2026. So come check us out if you're in the area.
Absolutely. And on that note, until the next time, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.